this is trial and error. Trial and error, you know what? This ain't the first tape, but need money about to ace it now. This is a story all about how my report got flipped upside down. You're all in worry block, just sit right there. I'll tell you the story, how we got on the air. In the seacoast, born and raised, the wall is where we spend most of our days. Chilling out, surfing, relaxing all cool, shooting some b-ball with the bull. When a couple of seniors who were up to no good started shot-McGowan in our neighborhood. I got one ISS and my mama got scared. She said, you're moving to the school show live, on air. I begged and pleaded with her all day, but she packed my lunch and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss, pushed me on the bus. I put my iPod on shelf and said I better not fuss. Back of the bus, yo, this is bad. Drinking apple juice out of a paper bag? Is this what the people at WHTV live like? Well, this might be aight. But wait, I hear they're not funny, lame all that. Is this where they send this cool cat? Ain't no way, I'll show them, you'll see. They ain't ready for the Fresh Prince of WHTV. Well, the bus pulled up, and when I came out, there was DeLuca standing there with my name out. I ain't trying to get suspended yet, I just got here. Hopped in the B-Wing bathroom, disappeared. I whistled for D-Rob, and when he came near, he looked super fresh and washed away my fear. If anything, I could say this guy was cooler than me, but I thought, nah, forget it. Yo, Holmes, WHTV. I pulled up to A111 about 7 or 8 and yelled, D-Rob, you'll smell you later. I looked at the studio, could finally see we were all gonna produce WHTV.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to season 26 of WHTV. You got some new handsome faces on desk, and we're rocking and rolling.
Hey, that's right, folks. My name's Braxton Z, and right next to me is the very average-looking Carter Havey. And we promise you that this will be the best trimester of WHTV y'all have ever seen.
And speaking of bad transitions, have you seen the story we did on Zach Waterhouse?
Cue bad transition joke. What? Who put that on teleprompter? Just roll it.
Winnicott Sr., local school legend and three-point king, number 5, Zach Waterhouse.
Many know Zach Waterhouse is a really mild-mannered, mellow guy. That is, until he's on the court. Zach has been playing basketball ever since he can remember and is one of Winnicott's best players. He's been integral to our starting lineup on either side of the court since sophomore year.
I started playing basketball in 3rd grade. My mom signed me up for HOA. I didn't even know it was really a sport. I played soccer up until basketball. So I would say it's my favorite sport. It's a lot of fun. My favorite part about basketball is probably the competitiveness between players and the teams. And also, it's just fun to be out there with your friends playing a sport. Yeah, I've been playing varsity at Winnicott for 3 years, since I was a sophomore.
To get more highlights and info on Zach's career, me and Hayden decided to talk to his mom, Mrs. Waterhouse, who's also a school counselor.
Yeah, when my kids were little, living in town, I always think it's really good to expose them to everything because you never know what they're gonna like. So we exposed them to soccer and basketball and baseball and softball and swimming and music and arts and crafts and all sorts of things like that. And for Zach, as my mom says, he was kind of born with the ball in his hand and he was always gravitated towards that. We had a hoop right outside of our house that the people next door had, and he was always out there shooting, even when he was little. The best memories I have of the kids that he is playing with now, you know, painting their faces blue and going to Southern New Hampshire to see the girls play when they were in the championship. I think they were in the championships like 5 years in a row.
There are a lot of good moments. Going to the Final Four my last 2 years was really fun. Playing with some of the kids that I've played with for like 10 years was awesome. I don't know, there are a lot of good moments. Freddie Shockey at 2 game winners last year, that was pretty cool. Breaking the record for 10 threes here was pretty fun. So there's a lot of good stuff that's happened.
Recently, on Tuesday, January 30th, Zach put up the record for most three-pointers hit in a game by a Winnicott basketball player ever, with 30 of his 32 points coming from outside the arc.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, everything was going in, it was cool. A lot of people were congratulating me, so it felt good.
We've always been a part of it. He's always loved watching it. We've never missed an extra game, so it's always been fun. I didn't know he would end up, you know, really being able to play basketball here. My daughter never did, so it was always really exciting that he started doing that.
Even though the Warriors season has come to a close, Winnicott basketball fans got to see Zach cap off his senior year with his 1001st varsity career point. I think it's clear that we can expect great things from Zach in the future. For WHTV, this is Adeline Hayden.
Wow, what a guy. His shot sure is wet.
Well, after all, his name is Costa de Agua.
Okay, what are you talking about there, S.A.?
B. Learn the lingo, amigo. Check out the story that Lauren Alkire and Mills Woodell did on the recent class trip to Spain.
Over the past 14 years, select Winnicott students and teachers have traveled all over Europe. Students apply and are selected to be brought on this trip over February vacation. This past vacation, many students traveled to Spain and Portugal. We talked to the teachers who make this trip possible to learn more about it.
We actually organize these trips the year before we leave. It takes contacting the EF Tours, which is the company we use, finding the itinerary. We've been doing it so long that we can now customize.
You'll never have the chance again, probably. I wish that when I was young I was able to travel. Before you know it, like 20, 30 years go by and you've never been anywhere. So to be able to go on a trip like this is just a wonderful opportunity at a young age.
Students have the opportunity to participate on these trips multiple years, starting when they're a sophomore, and be a trip ambassador their senior year. We spoke with some of the ambassadors to see what their experiences have been like.
Probably the best part is, I don't know, every once in a while there's like a good tower that you can climb up and get a nice like sweeping view of like the city.
That's always pretty cool.
That's always pretty cool.
Food's pretty great too.
It's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of new people, and you get a lot in each trip, and you see a lot of different things.
I think people should go on these trips because you really have to go out of your comfort zone and put yourself out there.
Keep an eye out in the announcements for the deadline to apply if you're interested. From WHTV, this is Mills and Lauren.
Wow, that looked epic. Definitely different than most generic travel videos for sure. It just makes me want to get out of this town and travel the globe, show everyone the wonders of the world.
Now, Carter, we promised the fine students of this school that we were going to take them places.
Right you are. And Shelby Nicholson and Caitlin Coran got a story on the other recent class trip to Costa Rica. Roll it.
During February vacation, a group of students from the Spanish department traveled to the Osa Peninsula in Costa Rica along with Mrs. Nollmeyer and Miss Edgar. The students traveled with an organization called Live the Osa. We spoke to Mrs. Nollmeyer a bit about this program.
Helene Wemple owns livetheosa.com, and she's a Spanish teacher up at Portsmouth. She lived on the Osa Peninsula, and she knows all the people in the village, so now she takes groups down.
We also spoke with Amanda Heitzelman to talk about the purpose of the trip and what they did.
The purpose of the trip was a Spanish immersion trip, so the point was to go and stay with the homestay families who didn't really speak English and just speak Spanish, and it was to practice and then go and experience the culture in Costa Rica. So we went to visit a high school that was there, and we went to visit some elementary and middle schools and then just see what life was like there.
In an interview with Megan Smith, another student who traveled with this group, we were able to find out some of the highlights of the trip and her favorite parts.
My favorite part of the trip was that I got to step out of my comfort zone and stay with a homestay family. It was really a completely different experience.
Lastly, we spoke with this year's travelers to see if they would recommend this trip to future students.
I would definitely recommend this trip to other students because it helps people get out of their comfort zone, and you do things that you would just never think to do, I guess, if you were on more of a touristy kind of trip. You really get to experience the culture and you feel like you're living there instead of just visiting.
All in all, we got to learn a lot about this special trip. Sophomores and freshmen, make sure to check out this trip in the future. For WHTV, Shelby Nicholson and Caitlin Curran.
Sunny beaches, warm skies, no one likes to say goodbye.
Planes flying overhead, oh man, I miss my own bed. Hey, did we just make a musical?
I think so. I don't know, maybe it's just been on my mind from the school musical that they just had. This past weekend, Winnicott put on its production of Young Frankenstein. The entire team, including pit director Ken Martin, choreographer Krista D'Amico and Katie Schuster, and tech director WH alumni Ben Bagley, worked alongside the cast and crew for 3 months to put on the whole show, and over 700 people attended.
On behalf of WHS, we want to thank all the seniors who have participated in the plays, and we wish the best of luck to the underclassmen singing shows to come.
Wow, truly amazing. I can only imagine the courage it takes to stand on stage like that. Impressive. Very nice.
Hey, agreed. But you want to know what else is impressive, Carter?
Yeah, what's that?
Yet another accolade has been added to the long list of achievements for Billy Powers, as he placed second in the men's national 55-meter hurdle earlier this March. On March 9th, Winnicott senior Billy Powers competed in the National High School Track Meet in New York for the second year. He came in second place in the men's 55-meter hurdle, missing the first by only .02. We got the chance to sit down with Billy and talk about his success.
Nationals went pretty well this year. Compared to last year, I was a lot more ready, a lot more prepared for the environment, and I was able to go in there and do my best. So pretty much coming off the last hurdle, I knew it was like, neck and neck. The race was going to come down to like hundredths of a second. It probably didn't help, but I was really just like pushing as hard as I could, and I ended up tripping up a little bit and took a dive through the line, but you got to do what you got to do. When I saw that I came in second, I was pretty hyped. I was more looking to just, get a good time, go in there and PR, and PR got a medal, so it was awesome.
Is there anything that man can't do?
Hey, apparently not, because he also recently participated in the cabaret.
Cabaret? What is that? I've never heard of that.
Hey, well, you're in luck, because Amanda Heinzelman and Campbell Parrish have a story on it.
The cabaret was held on the 15th of February, and it was put on by the music department. Liam McNeil, Andy Sicko, and Adam Richards emceed the event. We spoke to Mr. Martin, the band director, to find more out about the cabaret.
The cabaret was originally started as a fundraiser. It was designed to be a money-raising effort to allow the chamber singers and the jazz band for their to go on their yearly trip. But now that our yearly trip has expanded and we're including the concert band and the choir, now everybody's involved.
The money goes towards our trip every year. This year we're only doing a small trip to Boston, which isn't that expensive, but next year they're going to Disney, I think? Yeah, Florida, Disney.
Yeah, it's also a great fundraiser. It puts some money for us towards our trips that we like to go on. Every year we go on a trip where we get to perform somewhere cool like Boston, or we've gone to Toronto and Philadelphia in the past.
So for the first time ever, we have all 4 of our major performing groups performing at the cabaret, which is the jazz band, the chamber singers, the choir, and the concert band.
Each of the ensembles played music from separate decades, including the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. All students dressed in attire from their decades as they played and sang their hearts out to the older music.
I can call you Betty, Betty when you call me, you can call me out.
It's definitely just super fun, being able to represent Winnicott, and we perform a lot outside of the school as well, in the community. It's a lot of fun, and it's nice to be part of, kind of an elite group of musicians, if you will. And we play a lot of fun music, and if you don't know a whole lot about the jazz band, definitely check us out. Come to some of our performances, because we do a lot of work, and it's nice to show people what we got.
Man, wow! Doesn't it get you amped, Carter?
No, I'm mostly indifferent to anything exciting in my life, so.
Hey. Well, oh well, what does get to Zanny then?
Change and protest. And though Winnicott's plan to walk out to honor the 17 victims of the Marjorie Stoneham Douglas High School shooting was canceled due to weather, it has been rescheduled for April 20th, the anniversary of the Columbine shootings. The protests are meant to bring change and an end to school shootings and gun violence. Winnicott seniors Tanner Valhuli and Michaela Maloney are organizing the walkout alongside the administration, who plans to create a safe and organized environment for students planning to participate.
Hey, well, that's all we have for you guys today.
We hope you enjoyed the first episode of the new season. We'll see you guys soon.
Hey, put a cork in it.
Finally, bro.
To the underclassmen singing shows to come.
Carter does his leg. Just blow it.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It's getting hostile in here. We hope you enjoyed the few